hold on. Let's see. I recall a game that also had this type of concept. Okay, let's see. I probably won't find it easily. Yeah, whatever. It was I haven't read the book, I've only seen the movie. But I did find a novelization for the game Eco, which was really interesting. I do know that they made some creative changes for the movie from the book, like making Howl a better person compared to the story. And if I remember right, she turns into an old lady. Not because the curse explicitly made her into an old woman, but because she was an old soul sort of person. That was my interpretation. Blasted runes. Gazelle. He's a boy, not some specimen to be experimented on. I realize that, Adam. In order to prepare for my new maternal role, I intend to examine precedent cases, study reference materials, and interview those with hands-on experience. If I'm able to use these resources to construct a parenting model of sorts, it should be rather simple to transition into practice. The poor woman. She has no idea. Real mothers begin with less preparation than that, you know? The notion that I will be unsuccessful despite that is quite frankly irrational. I certainly cannot fault your logic. Your doubts aside, I will be accommodating the child in my laboratory. And as you are paternally experienced yourself, do expect me to call upon you for a consultation. Keep your schedule open for me, won't you? Well, if my experience can be of any aid, I would be much obliged to although I am rather busy, you see, so I may not. Wonderful. I'll be in touch. Wait, Gazelle. Fret not, little one. I'll make a splendid mage out of you. I promise. Now then, let's get you back to the laboratory. It's a little cramped. It serves as both my residence and workshop, but it keeps the rain and cold out nonetheless. Come along now, this way. It almost looks like she's holding his hand. And here we are, my laboratory and home. This is where I'll be keeping you. I wonder if you can understand me. No matter. One step at a time. First things first, though. Let's have something to eat. What am I thinking? I haven't even given you an identifier yet. What shall I call you? You've put me on the spot now. Well, how about we head inside first and think about it there? Many years would pass from that day until... In these scrawlings, I leave behind my chronicles, and as the last of those, as many years ago, when I was merely a boy, I awoke that day and knew not where or when I observed only surroundings unfamiliar. Those around me shared my predicament, for I knew not them nor themselves, and we are all of us confounded. We had been bereaved of our past, of our memories. However, not all was lost that amnesia haze. There was one precious remnant still stunning. A single tool, both sword and shield. They go way too fast. And that was magic. Magic, its wisdom still etched into our minds, our fingers leapt willingly to wield it. Alrighty. Enjoy. For beyond the city walls within which we had awakened, sprawled treacherous worlds rifle with malignant beasts like dungeon. Our magic in hand, we delved into these dungeons, labyrinths of forgotten reverie, the slayers of our tenebrous past. I hope you enjoy your meal. But in the march of time, we gained no ground. Our memories had still relies undiscovered. And then one day it came, the third great tragedy. It was as though life itself fell suddenly on the earth. The land's rupture, thrusted in grimmest appearance, and we fared. I write now of the poor souls reading this by precious scissors. I can read fast enough to read all of it, but that secret which none before compel from this world caused the condemnation to die and wither. Reading it verbally is not the easiest thing. So, as you can see, we are like birds in a cage, surrounded by these peerless dungeons. And if that weren't nefarious enough, in recent years, the dungeons have been affected by a sort of radical degradation we call a collapse, whereby their structure is altered dramatically. I am afraid we are in a predicament beyond our control and understanding. That is not to say, however, that we are completely powerless, for we still have magic. More than a century ago, there was the great vanishing of our memories, of our families and friends, our lives, in time before the event. We remembered nothing. But there was one thing we still retained, our knowledge and mastery of magic. wielding the sole weapon in hand, we set forth into the dungeons. Though, intrepid as we were, the repugnant monsters that lurked within, and even the unforgiving landscape themselves, seemed to rise against us, and we are yet to discover a way to the world outside. Now, it is your turn to venture into these treacherous dungeons as an anointed explorer of our people. In the name of all magic in this captive city of Wizarest, I, Archmage Adam, do hereby command you to accept this task. Your charge is to go forth into those wicked lands and seek a way to the outside, to forge a path to our salvation, or to preserve until your life is extinguished. Well said, Klaus. My goodness, you've grown. To think that Gazelle is not here to witness your departure. How long has passed in her absence since she entered the dungeons? A month now? I know. An accomplished mage such as her is not one to be delayed by mere monsters. There must be some other reason why she has yet to return. You may even find signs of her passage left behind during your expedition. As with all things, it is imperative that we move forward with hope in our hearts. For the first task, I ordered you to venture south of the city, to the Lyric Forest. The monsters within are weaker than those of the dungeon. However, that does not mean that you may let your guard down. Understood? And do not, under any circumstances, underestimate yourself and venture too deeply. Overestimate yourself. I would advise you also that you prepare yourself accordingly before setting forth. 200 M. Now then, be off with you, and good luck. You have been given the quest, the Forest of Beginnings by the Archmage. Orders received from the Archmage are your main quests, and serve as the most important objectives of your expedition into the dungeons. You can also accept other requests from people around the city, which are called subquests. You are free to accept or decline these requests as you wish, but completing them will earn you useful rewards. To see your quests, press the X button to open the camp menu. Then, select Quest. You can recover your team by resting in the bed at your home. The journal on your desk tracks information on monsters and gameplay data. With some exceptions, you can battle almost all monsters again through the re-challenge option. This is looking a lot like a game-based. Dying in this battle will not result in game over. To use any of them, stand in front of them and press the A button. This has strong lightning return slides. Klaus, level 1. That is so small I can't even